Welcome to the Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. I'm your host, Paige Carter. Few events in American history have been as meticulously examined, debated, and scrutinized as the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on that fateful day in Dallas, Texas, on November 22, 1963. Yet, despite all the official investigations, the eyewitness accounts, the Zapruder film, the countless books and documentaries, the truth, elusive and slippery, remains shrouded in layers of mystery, conspiracy, and unanswered questions. The official narrative, the so-called Warren Commission report, would have us believe that Lee Harvey Oswald, acting alone, shot Kennedy from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. But the echoes of those gunshots have reverberated down the decades, sparking a myriad of alternative theories and narratives, many of which challenge the very core of the official story. Take, for instance, the controversial magic bullet theory. This theory suggests that a single bullet, Commission Exhibit 399, caused 7 wounds to both Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally, who was seated in front of the president. Skeptics argue that the bullet, which was found in almost pristine condition, could not possibly have caused such extensive damage without being significantly deformed. Then we have the enigma of the grassy knoll, a small, sloped patch of land on the north side of Dealey Plaza. Numerous witnesses claimed they heard shots coming from that direction, not from the book depository. They also reported seeing a puff of smoke and a mysterious figure lurking in the area at the time of the shooting. Yet, the Warren Commission dismissed these accounts. And what about the babushka lady, an unidentified woman seen in several photographs of the assassination, seemingly unfazed and filming the horrifying spectacle? Despite extensive searches by the FBI, she was never found. Her identity and the footage she captured remain unknown to this day. And then there's the matter of Jack Ruby, the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald just 2 days after Kennedy's assassination, silencing him forever. Ruby, a nightclub owner with known connections to organized crime, acted impulsively out of grief over Kennedy's death, or so we're told. Yet his actions have fueled theories of a larger conspiracy, involving everything from the Mafia to the CIA. As we delve deeper into these mysteries and anomalies, we must remember that we're not merely exploring historical curiosities. We're seeking to illuminate the darkest corners of a national tragedy, an event that forever changed the trajectory of American history. Each piece of the puzzle brings us closer to understanding the true nature of power, the machinations of the shadowy forces that shape our world from behind the scenes. And perhaps, in doing so, we might just uncover the hidden truths that have been waiting patiently in the shadows for over half a century. To truly comprehend the magnitude of JFK's assassination and the theories surrounding it, it is essential to understand the historical and cultural context of the time. The early 1960s was a period of great tension and transformation. The Cold War was in full swing, casting a long shadow of nuclear threat over the globe. It was an era of paranoia, fear, and secrecy, an era when conspiracy theories could thrive. John F. Kennedy was elected as the 35th President of the United States in 1960. His administration, popularly known as Camelot, represented a youthful idealism and a promise of a brighter future. However, his presidency was also marked by a series of crises, from the failed Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba in 1961 to the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. These events, coupled with his ambitious domestic agenda, made him both loved and hated, admired and feared. There was an atmosphere of uncertainty and tension, both domestically and internationally. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, causing societal upheaval and political controversy. Abroad, the specter of communism loomed large, leading to covert operations and secret wars. The CIA was deeply involved in these clandestine activities, further intensifying the climate of secrecy and deception. This was the political landscape when JFK was assassinated on November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas. The shock of the assassination, the confusion that followed, the swift apprehension and then murder of the alleged assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, left the nation and the world stunned. The official narrative, provided by the Warren Commission, was met with skepticism and disbelief by many. The lack of transparency, the rush to close the case, the unexplained anomalies, all these factors gave rise to numerous conspiracy theories. As we delve into these theories, we must remember that they were born in a time of great turmoil and uncertainty. The pervasive secrecy of the era, the mistrust in the government, the fear of unseen forces manipulating events, all these factors contributed to the enduring mystery surrounding JFK's assassination. It's not just about solving a crime. It's about understanding a historical moment, a cultural context, and perhaps even the human propensity for seeking patterns and connections, for trying to make sense of the senseless. As we turn our attention to the key figures and organizations typically associated with the JFK conspiracy theories, we find a web of complex and intersecting connections. Central to these is Lee Harvey Oswald, the man officially charged with Kennedy's murder. Oswald, a former Marine and defector to the Soviet Union, was reportedly a loner with communist sympathies. Yet many argue that his connections ran deeper, possibly linking him to the FBI, CIA, or organized crime. Oswald's alleged ties to the CIA have been a subject of enduring speculation. Some theorists suggest Oswald was a low-level operative or pawn manipulated by higher forces within the agency. The CIA's history of covert operations and its documented interest in assassination plots against foreign leaders gives some plausibility to these theories. Oswald's brief defection to the Soviet Union, his seemingly inexplicable return, and his associations with anti-Castro Cuban groups all hint at a shadowy network of connections. On the other hand, Oswald's supposed links to the FBI are equally intriguing. Some theorists propose that Oswald was an FBI informant, pointing to unexplained gaps in his employment record and allegations of contact with FBI agents shortly before the assassination. This theory posits that elements within the FBI, dissatisfied with Kennedy's policies, may have manipulated Oswald. Beyond these agencies, the underworld of organized crime also surfaces in the conspiracy discourse. The Kennedy administration's aggressive stance against the Mafia, led by Attorney General Robert Kennedy, is well documented. Theories suggest that mob bosses, feeling threatened, may have orchestrated JFK's assassination as an act of retaliation. Oswald's connections to individuals with known mob ties, such as David Ferrie and Jack Ruby, the man who killed Oswald, provide fodder for these theories. Lastly, there is the suggestion of a broader political conspiracy, one that could involve anti-Castro Cubans, disgruntled CIA operatives, or even elements within the military-industrial complex. These groups, it is argued, might have seen Kennedy's policies as dangerously weak, especially in the face of the perceived communist threat, and thus colluded to remove him from office. It is important to note, however, that while these theories and connections are compelling, they remain largely speculative. Absent concrete proof, they offer tantalizing possibilities that continue to fuel the quest for answers in the JFK assassination. As time passed, more documents and evidence relating to the JFK assassination came to light, often through leaks or declassification, stoking the flames of public intrigue and suspicion. In 1975, for instance, the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate investigative body, disclosed that the CIA had engaged in covert assassination plots against foreign leaders, a revelation that lent credibility to the theory of a CIA role in JFK's death. In 1977, the House Select Committee on Assassinations began a new investigation into JFK's killing. Their findings differed dramatically from the Warren Commission's conclusion. Acoustic evidence, they suggested, pointed to a second gunman situated on the grassy knoll. Although these findings were later disputed, they cast significant doubt on the lone gunman theory and invigorated the belief in a broader conspiracy. In the 1990s, the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act led to the release of millions of pages of previously classified documents. Among these were files suggesting that Oswald had been under surveillance by the FBI in the months before the assassination, bolstering theories about Oswald's potential recruitment or manipulation by the agency. One of the most startling revelations came in 2007 when E. Howard Hunt, a former CIA operative, made a deathbed confession in which he claimed knowledge of a conspiracy to kill JFK. Hunt's confession implicated several individuals, including himself, and pointed to a plot orchestrated by rogue elements within the CIA. While Hunt's claims have been viewed with skepticism, they nonetheless added a new layer of intrigue to the already complex web of theories surrounding JFK's death. Then, in 2017, a trove of classified files related to the JFK assassination was released, revealing that the CIA had considered planting evidence to implicate Cuba in the assassination. This revelation, while not directly supporting the theory of a CIA-led conspiracy to kill JFK, nonetheless highlighted the agency's capacity for manipulation and deception. While none of these discoveries provide definitive proof of a conspiracy, they undeniably contribute to a climate of doubt and suspicion. Each new piece of information seems to generate more questions than answers, prompting continued speculation about who was truly behind JFK's death. As the quest for truth continues, so too does the enduring fascination with the JFK assassination, a mystery that remains unsolved more than half a century later. As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of potential cover-ups and information suppression surrounding the JFK assassination, it's essential to explore some of the alleged tactics used to manipulate the narrative and silence key players. These tactics range from the clandestine to the overt, and they paint a picture of an intricate web of deceit. One such tactic was the alleged control exerted over the Warren Commission itself. Critics of the commission point to the fact that the team was composed of individuals with close ties to the government or intelligence agencies. This could have influenced the direction and findings of their investigation. Furthermore, despite the commission's extensive inquiry, many potential witnesses were never called to testify, leading some to wonder if these omissions were intentional. In addition to controlling the official investigation, there have been allegations of witness intimidation and even murder. Many individuals who claimed to have information about the assassination died under suspicious circumstances. For instance, Dorothy Kilgallen, a journalist who claimed to have information that would break the case wide open, was found dead in her apartment. The official cause of death was ruled as a drug overdose. However, many believe she was murdered to prevent her from revealing the truth. Another glaring instance of narrative control was the handling of the Zapruder film, the most comprehensive visual record of JFK's assassination. The film was purchased by Life magazine, ostensibly to protect it from sensationalist exploitation. Yet, rather than publish the film in its entirety, Life released only selected frames, omitting crucial moments of the assassination. This selective release arguably served to shape public perception of the event and perhaps shield the truth. A more subtle form of information control can be seen in the government's handling of classified documents related to the assassination. Despite legislation requiring the release of these documents, many remain classified or heavily redacted. This withholding of information fuels speculation that the government is concealing evidence of a conspiracy. Finally, the media's role in shaping the public's understanding of JFK's assassination cannot be overlooked. Critics argue that mainstream media outlets have largely upheld the official narrative of the lone gunman theory, dismissing alternative theories as mere conjecture. This pattern of media coverage has arguably perpetuated the official narrative and stifled dissenting voices. These alleged efforts of information suppression and narrative control only serve to deepen the mystery surrounding JFK's assassination. They reinforce the belief that the true story is far more complex and sinister than the official narrative suggests. This perception, whether founded or not, continues to drive interest in the JFK assassination, keeping it firmly in the public consciousness as a source of enduring intrigue and speculation. The courage to question the official narrative and seek the truth comes with profound risks, as several individuals learned in the aftermath of JFK's assassination. These whistleblowers, insiders, and journalists boldly attempted to shed light on the truth, often facing dire consequences for their defiance. One of the earliest resistors was Abraham Zapruder, the man behind the infamous Zapruder film. Though he sold the rights to Life magazine, he was vocal about his dissatisfaction with the selective publication of the film's frames. Despite the magazine's assurance of protection, Zapruder believed the full truth was being deliberately obscured. His dissent was largely dismissed, yet his film remains a key piece of evidence for conspiracy theorists. Jim Garrison, the New Orleans district attorney, was another figure who openly challenged the official narrative. He conducted an independent investigation into the assassination, alleging that there was a conspiracy involving elements within the U.S. government. Garrison's investigation led to the only trial related to the assassination, that of Clay Shaw, though Shaw was ultimately acquitted. Garrison faced intense criticism and professional backlash for his claims, but he never retreated from his stance. In the journalistic world, writers like Mark Lane and Josiah Thompson also faced resistance for their attempts to expose the truth. Lane's book, Rush to Judgment, criticized the Warren Commission's findings, while Thompson's 6 Seconds in Dallas used detailed analysis of the Zapruder film to challenge the lone gunman theory. Both authors faced considerable opposition and ridicule from mainstream media and the establishment. However, their writings have become cornerstone works for researchers and enthusiasts seeking alternate explanations. The experiences of these individuals underscore the significant risks associated with dissenting from the official narrative. The resistance they encountered ranged from professional ridicule to hints of personal danger. Yet, their contributions remain instrumental in keeping the quest for truth alive. Their enduring legacy is a testament to the power of resistance, the courage of whistleblowers, and the tenacity of truth seekers. Their work continues to inspire those who believe that the full story of JFK's assassination remains untold, hidden beneath layers of secrecy and misinformation. Declassified documents and testimonies have played an essential role in fueling the ongoing debate around the JFK assassination. The release of thousands of documents by the National Archives in 2017, under the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992, brought new evidence to light, some of which lends credence to the conspiracy theories. One such document is a CIA communication from 1966, showing that the agency was monitoring Lee Harvey Oswald's activities in Mexico City weeks before the assassination. Oswald had purportedly met with Soviet and Cuban officials, raising questions about potential foreign involvement. Then, there's the infamous Helms memo. Richard Helms, the CIA director from 1966 to 1973, penned a memo in 1975 addressing allegations of CIA involvement in assassination plots against foreign leaders. Buried within the memo is a cryptic reference to Oswald, suggesting that former CIA Director John McCone had information about Oswald's activities that he did not disclose to the Warren Commission. Testimonies, too, have added fuel to the conspiracy fire. Witness accounts of the assassination often contradict the official narrative. In a 1966 interview, S.M. Holland, a railroad signal supervisor, claimed to have seen smoke rising from behind the picket fence on the grassy knoll, a location different from the book depository where Oswald allegedly fired the fatal shots. More controversial is the testimony of E. Howard Hunt, a former CIA officer. On his deathbed, Hunt allegedly confessed to involvement in a CIA conspiracy to kill Kennedy. His detailed account implicated several high-ranking CIA officers. Despite the questionable authenticity of Hunt's confession, it continues to intrigue researchers and theorists alike. Finally, the House Select Committee on Assassinations report from 1979 concluded that JFK's assassination was likely the result of a conspiracy. The committee's acoustic experts analyzed a Dallas police motorcycle radio recording and found evidence of a fourth gunshot from the grassy knoll. While subsequent studies have disputed the acoustic evidence's reliability, the committee's conclusion casts a long shadow of doubt on the lone gunman theory. These revelations present a labyrinth of possibilities, each pathway leading to a different interpretation of events. The more we uncover, the more complex the puzzle becomes. The layers of secrecy that once shrouded the JFK assassination have begun to peel away, revealing snippets of a narrative far more complex than the official story. Yet, despite the declassified files and testimonies, the truth remains elusive, a tantalizing enigma for those compelled to solve it. In the wake of the assassination, the United States was, to put it mildly, a nation in shock. This public trauma was markedly amplified by live television coverage that brought the gruesome reality of the event into American homes. Such a public, violent death of a leader was unprecedented in the modern era, and it left a scar on the collective psyche of the nation. People were not only mourning the loss of a beloved president, but also grappling with the abrupt shattering of their sense of security and order. As the government scrambled to provide answers, the Warren Commission was established to investigate and communicate its findings to the American public. But when the official narrative pointed to Lee Harvey Oswald as the sole gunman, a significant portion of the public found this explanation hard to swallow. The speed at which Oswald was identified, arrested, and subsequently murdered while in police custody gave rise to a growing skepticism. The narrative seemed too neat, too convenient, and for many, too implausible. This disbelief was not confined to the public alone. Even within the government, there were those who questioned the official line. Jim Garrison, the district attorney of Orleans Parish, Louisiana, launched his own investigation into the assassination in 1966, the only prosecution related to Kennedy's murder ever attempted. The case, which claimed a conspiracy and cover-up, ended with the acquittal of the defendant, Clay Shaw, but it further seeded doubt in the minds of the American people. The media, too, played its part in questioning the Warren Commission's report. As early as 1964, surveys indicated that half the American public did not believe Oswald acted alone. Over the years, books, documentaries, and investigative reports continued to challenge the official narrative, offering alternate theories from the plausible to the outrageous. Perhaps the most lasting fallout from the JFK assassination has been the erosion of public trust in government and media. The perception of a cover-up, whether real or imagined, has fueled a general cynicism and birthed a cultural fascination with conspiracy theories that persists to this day. The Kennedy assassination became a symbol of the hidden machinations of power, the dark undercurrents running beneath the surface of American society. The JFK assassination transformed the United States, altering the course of history and the nature of public discourse. It remains a pivotal, haunting event, a specter that continues to cast long shadows over the intricate narrative of American life. Its unresolved mysteries and the subsequent controversies have become an integral part of the national consciousness, pushing us to question, to probe, and to forever seek the elusive truth. The enduring intrigue around the JFK assassination and its associated conspiracy theories have permeated into nearly all aspects of modern culture, politics, and technology. Their impact is so profound that it's altered the way society scrutinizes official narratives and seeks truth. In politics, the assassination and its conspiracies have instilled a chronic sense of doubt and mistrust in the government, with ramifications that can be seen in every election cycle. The skepticism born out of the Kennedy case has led to a more questioning public, with voters often questioning the motivations, actions, and honesty of their leaders. This has, in turn, led to the political landscape becoming more polarized, as individuals often form their own narratives based on their beliefs and suspicions. In the realm of culture, the JFK assassination has inspired countless works of literature, music, film, and television. These range from serious historical accounts to fictional interpretations, each adding a layer to the cultural understanding and interpretation of the event. The conspiracy theories are often used as a backdrop or plot device to explore themes of corruption, power, and the lengths to which individuals or organizations will go to protect their interests. Technology has further amplified these theories and narratives. With the advent of the internet and social media, conspiracy theories have found fertile ground, spreading faster and further than ever before. The JFK assassination, with its myriad of unanswered questions and theories, has become a staple topic on these platforms, providing a fertile ground for discussion, debate, and further speculation. It has also spurred the use of technology in investigative efforts, with numerous online communities dedicated to uncovering new evidence or reinterpreting existing information. Perhaps the most relevant lesson from the JFK assassination and its associated conspiracy theories is the importance of transparency and honesty from those in power. The enduring skepticism and doubt surrounding the event are largely due to the perceived lack of transparency and the swift, seemingly convenient resolution of the case. This has taught society the importance of holding those in power accountable and demanding transparency in their actions. The JFK assassination and its conspiratorial shadow continue to shape our world, reminding us of the power of doubt, the importance of questioning, and the ceaseless human quest for truth. As we navigate our own era of uncertainty, controversy, and misinformation, the lessons from that fateful day in Dallas remain as relevant as ever. The echoes of those gunshots continue to resonate, pushing us to question, to probe, to remain skeptical, and ultimately, to seek the truth, however elusive it may be. In the face of unanswered questions and lingering doubt, the JFK assassination remains a potent symbol of the struggle between transparency and secrecy, truth and deception. The lack of clarity and the persistence of doubt surrounding the event have fueled a culture of skepticism and inquiry that thrives today. The assassination, far from being a closed chapter of history, is an open-ended narrative that continues to evolve with each new perspective, each new piece of evidence, and each new theory. At the heart of the JFK conspiracy theories lies a fundamental tension between the known and the unknown, the visible and the hidden. The event straddles an uncomfortable boundary, one where the official narrative does not fully align with the collective intuition, where the facts presented do not satiate the appetite for truth. This tension drives the continued search for answers, propelling us into the shadowy realms of hidden agendas and concealed truths. The theories, narratives, and debates surrounding the JFK assassination have, in many ways, become a mirror reflecting our society's relationship with power, secrecy, and knowledge. They underscore the fine line between skepticism and cynicism, between healthy doubt and conspiratorial thinking. They remind us that the quest for truth is not a straightforward journey, but a complex maze fraught with uncertainties, detours, and dead ends. But perhaps, most importantly, they remind us that the pursuit of truth is not a destination, but a journey. It is a relentless endeavor, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a deep-seated desire to uncover the hidden, to illuminate the obscure, to bring clarity to the ambiguous. In the face of secrecy and deception, the quest for truth becomes a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable human spirit, and an affirmation of our collective resilience. Even as the murder of JFK remains shrouded in mystery, one thing is clear: the quest for truth, no matter how elusive, will not be silenced. The echoes of that fateful day in Dallas continue to reverberate, challenging us to question, to investigate, to persist. The story of JFK's assassination is not merely a chapter in the annals of history, but a living testament to the power of the human spirit to seek truth in the face of uncertainty, a beacon that guides us in our ongoing quest for understanding, transparency, and accountability. Thanks for listening. This has been The Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. If you enjoyed today's episode, Be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.